And we're back with the Holy Tree? Yeah, the Holy
Ye-
Tree. It's been a minute since we looked at these. Well, the Paladin trees anyway. I'm excited for the Warlock and the Monk coming up. Um, so, Holy Pallies are like Holy Pallies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I remember my stepbrother back in middle school when we first started playing. Wow. Yeah, I date myself real good. Uh, he had to play Holy to get into Molten Core, but not because they wouldn't take a Ret Paladin or some elitist shit like that, but because like his computer couldn't handle, and his dial-up connection, like the combo of the two couldn't handle MC. So in order to be there, he'd have to look at the wall the whole time, or like his game would just lag super hard. So what he'd do is he'd stare at the wall and heal people because paladins did not suffer from line of sight, from what I understand, or line of sight just didn't
Apply.
affect, like they didn't have to be in front of you.
Huh.
Maybe he just turned his camera around. I don't remember what he did, but yeah, he basically stood in the corner and healed people the whole time. Anyway, what about you, Devil? You got any Holy Pally stories?
Um, I mean, not really. I never played Holy Pally in the beginning, and then I started playing Holy Pally when I learned that there was, of course, a Holy Pally DPS build when they had the Avenging Crusader build, and that's when I started playing Holy Pally. But I did start normal healing when I saw there was like a Word of Glory and a Holy Shock build, and I started like doing Holy Shocks and like Word of Glories all around, and then it was nice and bursty, but and then yeah, I just didn't feel still interested in it afterwards, and I never got the hang of it. So
Yeah, I
and that's
aesthetically I really like the Holy Pally, like Uther and Uther from Warcraft 3. I like the way that the Holy Pally feels a lot like him.
that's why I like Avenging Crusader because it feels more like an Uther setup where you just melee attack people and heals targets.
Yeah, I do hope that we see the melee healer up in here. Um, where they do the what was the blessing, or the judgments. They judge that on the target and they smack it and heals everybody, or gives everybody mana. Like that's a really cool thing, and I hope we see that in here.
Yeah. Alrighty. Well,
Let's
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 zoom
get
in.
started here. We got the top talent will
Of
be
course.
Holy Shock, 16% of base mana, 40-yard range, instant, 7.5-second cooldown, triggers a burst of light on the target, dealing 68% of spell power holy damage to an enemy, or 155% of spell power healing to an ally. Holy Shock has an additional 30% critical effect chance, generates one holy power. Um, I really like how Holy Shock damages or heals. Like that feels really good for a paladin.
Mhm.
Because I don't think the paladin should just stand there and heal. That's what a priest should do. Because paladins are supposed to be a battle priest, like in the lore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But we'll keep moving on down this side over here. We got Holy Light, 15% of base mana, 40-yard range, 2.5-second cast, requires Paladin Holy. Um, an efficient spell healing a friendly target for 260% of spell power. Yeah, that is pretty efficient.
No, that's their primary big heal,
Yeah, no,
basically.
this is their bread and butter heal. I do like how there's quite significant cooldowns on these abilities so far. Oh, we haven't seen Flashlight. Let's go see what Flashlight looks like real quick down here in the abilities. Um,
Yeah, it should be there now.
there it is, Flashlight, 1.5 second cast, no cooldown, expends a large amount of mana to quickly heal a friendly target for 202% spell power times 1.15, 202% of spell power. Interesting. So we know we got these three. Let's move down over here to elimination. Holy Light and Flashlight healing increased by 10%. That's kind of boring, but like, what else you gonna do? The early talents are allowed to be boring like that.
Yeah.
Like just straight
Hey,
percent damage or whatnot, or percent increase is good for early talents. But like, I want these later talents to say interesting things. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm.
A beacon of light transfers an additional 10% of the amount healed.
Up to 20.
Cool, cool. Let's see what else we got going here. Radiant Onslaught. Crusader Strike now has 2 charges. That's dope. Melee healer incoming. I'm so happy about this. I might actually play a Holy Pally. Alright, and then we got Light's Hammer or Holy Prism. Light's Hammer, 18% of base mana, 40-yard range, instant 1-minute cooldown, hurls a light-infused hammer at the ground, dealing spell power, or 20.5% spell power, holy damage to nearby enemies, and healing up to 6 nearby allies for 25% spell power every 2 seconds for 14 seconds. Did I read the cooldown? Yeah, I think I
1
did.
minute.
Yeah. Let's see here. And then we got Holy Prism, 13% base mana, 40-yard range, instant 20-second cooldown. Hurls or fires a beam of light that scatters to strike a clump of targets. If the beam is aimed at an enemy target, it deals 75% spell power holy damage and radiates 75% spell power healing to 5 allies within 15 yards. If the beam is aimed at a friendly target, it heals them for 140% spell power and radiates 45% of spell power holy damage to 5 enemies within 15 yards. So this is a pretty standard choice. I think we've seen this choice before. I really like Light's Hammer, but not on a Holy Pally. I like Light's Hammer on my prop Pally. That is a really good ability for pulling groups.
Yeah, for me it depends, but I've always ran with Holy Prism more or less at the moment.
I feel like Light's Hammer could almost be a standalone talent
But currently I'll be running Holy Prism. But
in
yeah.
the base tree, but I'd say nerf it a little bit and then give an improved version of it here that increases the healing. Um,
Well,
so
give it
like
more like a trigger every 1 second and then make it last 7 seconds. So
no, like
trigger
the
faster.
the 14 seconds and what or every 2 seconds for 14 seconds is fine. I'd say drop the spell power down to like 5%, and then have it be improved Light's Hammer right here and increase the spell power and maybe even the spell damage. Um, because you're a holy pally, but like it's a good talent for a paladin to have, and it feels really paladin like. It's kind of a shame to
Yeah,
see it locked up to
yeah.
just the holy.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be a decent cooldown, so I figure it could be a nice burst mini cooldown too. So
Yeah. No, it fills a lot of roles, and it's a good spot here. But like,
so
I feel like
too.
a nerfed version of it in the base tree, and then an improved version right here would be a better choice, so that you could have access to it as Ret and Prot. And I feel like a lot of the paladin trees that we looked at could benefit from looking at the base tree being redone, so that a lot of the stuff that crosses over is in the base tree rather than being in all three different trees. And then have modifier talents, which I did see in some of the other ones that modify talents from the base tree. I think it's the ones that modify Avenging Wrath, which gave me this idea to begin with. But yeah, I feel like it would be kind of more interesting to see more tools in the base tree, and then more modifiers to those tools in the spec trees. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, for a rogue, you put Adrenaline Rush in the base tree, but it's a nerfed version of Adrenaline Rush. And then you give the modifier to bring it up to what it is currently for Outlaw in the Outlaw tree. That way you can actually do two talents across the two trees without actually doing two talents. It might save them some space so they don't have to do as many shitty talents that do nothing. But man, I talked about that for far too long. Which one do you pick?
Like I said, I'm still Holy Prism. So
Yeah, Holy Prism's the better healing ability, which is what got me on the thought process of this argument to begin with. Like, it's a choice, but it's really a non-choice. Um, and then over here in the middle, we have Moment of Compassion. Your flash of light heals for an additional 10% when casting on a target affected by your beacon of light. God, do I love that beacon of light. All right, and then below that, we have Ethereal Ward. Lay on
Imperial.
hands. Yeah, Ethereal.
Imperial.
Imperial? That's debatable. Correct us in the comments. Lay on hands grants the target 15% increased armor. Alright, and then we've got I'm gonna leave protection of tier for when we go down the middle.
Yeah.
Because it's got 2 points and it's gonna be a pain in the ass for you to get there. So we're just gonna do these two over here. We have Crusader's Might. Crusader Strike reduces the cooldown of Holy Shock by 1 point. 0 seconds. What's that up to?
Which goes 2.
Alright, and then you have Blessing of Summer. Ooh, the Night Fae. 5% base mana, 40-yard range, instant, 45-second cooldown. Bless an ally for 30 seconds, causing their attacks to have a 40% chance to deal additional holy damage. Blessing of Seasons turns to Autumn after use. What the fuck does Autumn do? Okay. Um, interesting. So let's go. And so the way this tree is set up, I'm gonna go down the other side that only goes to fucking barely into the 20-point required zone, and then we'll go do the middle. Sound good?
I mean, like the right side?
Yeah, we're gonna go do down the right side, and then we'll go down the middle because all of the end cap talents are down the middle, and
Oh,
yeah.
yeah, I see that. Okay.
Um, Light of Dawn unleashes a wave of holy energy, or 3 holy power, instant cast. I didn't even see that. Healing up to 5 injured allies within 15 yards of frontal cone for 105% spell power. I like that. That's really cool. Although it feels like Light of Dawn could be put up against Holy Prism because they're both like frontal cone type abilities. Are they frontal cone?
No.
I'm thinking of a different.
One's a pure AoE 5 target limit.
Yeah, you're right. I was thinking of a different ability. I was probably thinking of Light of Dawn. Bestow Faith or Unending Light. NYI. So, Bestow Faith is 6% base mana, which is the cheapest heal I've seen so far for a paladin. 40-yard range, instant, 12-second cooldown. Begin mending the wounds of a friendly target, healing them for 110% of spell power after 5 seconds.
210. Oh yeah.
Yeah, 210% spell power. Is that that's almost as Holy Light's still higher. But that is more healing than Holy Shock does. It looks like.
Yeah, it's a free heal. And it gives you a holy power.
Yeah, it's a preemptive heal.
And it costs less mana.
So like throw that on the tank as you're watching that DBM timer tick down. You're like, he's
Good
gonna
for
need
first hit,
this.
yeah.
And there we go.
Alright, next one. And then you like
Or if you have somebody who's about to soak something. There's a lot you can do with Bestow Faith. Unending Light. Each holy power spent on Light of Dawn increases the healing of your next holy or Word of Glory by 5% to a maximum of 45%. That's pretty good.
Yep.
I guess it depends on what your role is and how the fight works. Like, this is a good choice because the one is basically a stacking sustained increase, and the other one is a high skill ability. So I guess as a low skill Holy Pally myself, I'd probably go with Unending Light, but I'd probably want to use Bestow Faith a lot because, yeah, I'd probably actually pick that just so I could get used to using it. Seems like a little bit of a stronger ability if you can get used to using it. I like that improved skill cap there. So then we've got Served by the Light, or Saved by the Light. When an ally with your Beacon of Light is damaged below 30% health, they absorb the next spell power times 2 times 1 plus versatility damage. I wonder what that's going to be. You cannot shield the same person this way twice within a minute. Okay. Ooh, but you could swap your bacon. And if you swap your bacon, you can get it on someone else. Tank healing. I see tank healing in this future. It's a good tank healing talent. In the middle, we've got a Tower of Radiance. Casting Flash of Light or Holy Light on your Beacon of Light grants you 1 holy power. Then in the middle of the right side, we got Word of Glory and Light of Dawn. Healing increase by 5%. Boring, but needed. Light of the Martyr, 7% base mana, 40-yard range. Sacrifice, or instacast, sacrifice a portion of your own health instantly to heal an ally for 110% spell power. You take damage equal to 50% of healing done. Does not cause Beacon of Light to be healed. Cannot be cast on yourself. Very nice. I wonder if we're going to get an improved sack. You know, Blessing of Sacrifice. Oh, so we got Echo Echoing Blessing. Blessing of Freedom increases the target's movement speed by 5%. Blessing of Protection and Blessing of Sacrifice. Hey, I just was talking about that one. Reduces the target's damage taken by 5%. Ooh. These effects linger for 8 seconds after the blessing ends. Boy, oh boy, oh. Look at that. That is cool. Untempered Dedication. Light of the Martyr's damage and healing increase by 8% each time it's cast. This effect stacks 5 times and lasts for 15 seconds. That's spammable?
It's instant, no cooldown, so yes.
Yeah, holy shit. Oh. So you could bestow faith on yourself, right?
And
And
then
then
martyr, yeah.
and then martyr a grip ton of people and get that health back because that's also an instant cast.
Yeah,
Oh
it's insane.
man, this is holy pallies are gonna be bursty. Like not like yeah, they're gonna be bursty. That shit's gonna be. This sounds good. I like this, but that's a high skill play because you're stacking health to get there. Light of Dawn increases your next Light of the Martyr by 10% for each ally healed, and allows Light of the Martyr to heal through Bacon of Light. Light of the Martyr damages you over 5 seconds instead of instant. Ooh, there we go. There we go. That alleviates the skill requirement as much. And imagine if you're like sitting there in a Light's Hammer taking AoE healing. Ooh, this is gonna be dirty. Or if you have like a monk just pouring heals into you, like, ooh, AoE machines or heal machines. Alright, and then on the inside, we got the Bacon of Faith or the Bacon of Virtue. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
3.125% base mana. You guys balance that enough? You dial it in there, just the exact enough mana you need to perform this spell. Mark a second target as a beacon, mimicking the effects on Beacon of Light. Your heals will now heal both bacons for 30%, or at a 30% reduced effectiveness. That is so nice. 2 bacons.
It's basically telling you it's half of a quarter.
Yeah. It's 69% or 70% effectiveness, so and then we've got Bacon of Virtue replaces Bacon of Light. 10% of base mana, 40-yard range, instant, 15-second cooldown, applies a beacon of light on your target and 3 injured allies within 30 yards for 8 seconds. All affected allies will be healed for 30% of the amount of your other healing done. Holy. Your flash of light, holy light, on these targets also grant one holy power. Holy powers. Batman. So the Bacon of Virtue is for raid, and the Bacon of Faith is for dungeon or twos. No, threes.
Well, they're both made for dungeons too because there are three. That's 3 beacons. It's not like 8.
Yeah,
Because Beacon of Virtue you can use to heal your entire dungeon, and
but
Faith is
I
good.
think you'll get more sustained healing in a dungeon if you, because there's only 5 people, and you're one of
Yeah,
them. So you put Beacon of Faith, or you take Beacon of Faith, and then you put the beacons on the tank and the melee DPS, because chances are you're only going to have one melee DPS, as opposed to 3 targets needing to be healed. Because let's be for real, the usual dungeon dynamic is a healer, a tank, 1 melee, and 2 range. And if we
yeah.
can get away with it, we're going to go with 3 range anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah, or you could just beacon the 2 range while you heal the 2 melee.
Yeah, could be.
Where in Beacon of Virtue, you get 4 targets, which is going to be the majority of the group. But like, how many times are you going to need that? As opposed to like in a raid where you have more people to need to use that on. It's also more expensive.
As I'm saying, Virtue is more expensive.
Yeah, I feel like Virtue's better for a raid setting. Um, don't get me wrong, and like in threes, you definitely want to use Beacon of Faith over Virtue, because like, what is that 15-second cooldown really going to net you in a twos? Because it's only 30% as opposed to the 70% that you keep with Beacon of Faith, and it doesn't replace your Beacon of Light. So if you pick Beacon of Faith in twos, your Beacon of Light still works like Beacon of Light. This is a really good talent choice.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I think you had this choice as well in the Shadowlands, so.
yeah, it's a good like, there's a lot of options in this.
I've actually checked it out now while we're looking, but yeah.
All right, so let's move on to this middle tree. Before this video gets fucking ridiculously long,
Huh.
because we've already been going for almost half hour. Uh,
Yeah, I
Infusion
know.
of Light. Your critical holy shocks reduce the cost of your next flashlight by 30%, or cause your next holy light to generate 1 holy power. Okay. Divine Protection. That's really a cooldown now? Okay. Divine Protection, 3.5% base mana, 2-minute cooldown, reduce all damage you take by 20% for 8 seconds. Alrighty.
There's Aura Mastery.
You got Aura Mastery. Empowers your chosen aura for 8 seconds. Very nice. Then we've got Protection of Tier. Aura Mastery also increases all healing received by party and raid members for 40 yards, or within 40 yards, by 5%.
Up to 10.
On the other side, we have Rule of Law, increases 30-yard range recharge. No, not range. Let me start over. Rule of Law, instant 30-second recharge. 2 charges, increases the range of your heals by 50% for 10 seconds. Did I read the Tower of Radiance earlier? I think I did.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, next we have Scintillation. Yeah, we'll go with
Huh?
Scintillation.
Which one?
Or Scintillation.
What?
The talent over here below protection of tier.
Critical protection. Oh, protection is here.
This word's probably Latin.
Sorry, I put a little lost for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, I can't. My brain.
I think my mind wandered. Hold on a minute.
Holy Shock has a 7% increased critical strike chance.
Oh, that one.
What's it go up to?
15.
15.
Yep,
Man,
15%
that second point
critical.
is worth more than the first point. That's kind of rare.
Yeah, well, because they always try to balance it out to make it like 5, 10, or 15.
Yeah, right.
2, 5, 3, 5, 8.
Divine Revelations. While empowered by Infusion of Light, Flash of Light heals for an additional 5%. Holy Light refunds 1% of maximum mana.
Yeah.
Holy Light refunds 1% of maximum mana. Holy Light refunds maximum mana.
Yeah.
What is it? Does it go up to 3%?
Yep.
Ooh, that's so
Wow,
nice.
empowered by Infusion of Light. So if you get Infusion of Light, basically reduce the cost of Holy Light by 3%, so 12% max mana.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Second Sunrise. Light of Dawn has a 10% chance to create a second cone of light immediately after the first. I feel like this talent should come before the Blessing of Summer because it has to do with dawn and the sun. You know what I mean?
And that's
Like
20%. Yeah.
thematically. 20%? Cool. Alrighty. Now we're into what I hope is the juicy talents. We're going to start over here with the Glimmer of Light. And then we're going to move down. And then we're going to go over to the other one. And then we're going to move down. So, Glimmer of Light. Holy Shock leaves a glimmer of light on the target for 30 seconds. When you cast Holy Shock, all targets with Glimmer of Light are damaged for 16% spell power or healed for 38% spell power. You may have Glimmer of Light on up to 8 targets. I like this talent. Glimmer of Light sounds dope AF. Then you get Barrier of Faith, 9.5% base mana, 40-yard range, instant, 25-second cooldown. Imbue a friendly target with a Barrier of Faith, healing them for 65% spell power. For the next 18 seconds, Barrier of Faith accumulates 20% effective healing from your next flash of light healing or holy light spells. Every 6 seconds, the accumulated healing becomes an absorb shield. That's really cool. That goes on a tank. Or a DPS that stands in the fire.
Warriors.
Yeah. I wasn't going to call names, hunters.
Well, I'm saying for me, Ragingdevils will be the warrior.
Yeah. Okay, then we got Divine Toll. 15% base mana, 30-yard range, instant 1-minute cooldown, instant cast, Retribution Judgment, up to 5 targets within 30 yards. Retribution Divine Toll deals. Where's the Divine Toll thing? That's not the right talent.
It's down next talent.
Oh, no. Where's the Divine Toll in the base tree?
Base tree.
Yeah, wasn't Divine Toll in the base tree?
No,
I thought there was a version of it in the base tree.
no. You'll see it. Like I said, you just gotta fill it in with Holy Shock.
Oh, is it just Holy Shock instead of Judgments?
Instantly cast Holy Shock on up to 5 targets within 30
Ah,
yards.
after you cast, instantly cast Holy Shock. Okay.
Divine Tolls Holy Shock deals 100% increased damage.
Yeah, Judgment every 5 seconds less. Divine Resonance. Okay, that's just the improved version. On the other side, we have Power of the Silver Hand. Holy Light and Flash of Light have a chance to grant you holy power of the Silver Hand, increasing your healing of your next Holy Shock. Oh, not Holy Power of the Silver Hand, just Power of the Silver Hand, increasing your next Holy Shock by 10% of all damage and effective healing you do within the next 10 seconds, up to a maximum of total health times 50 divided by 100 times 2. Anyway. Okay. Next we have. We'll go down and look at straight down at Breaking Dawn. Increase the range of your Light of Dawn to 40 yards. That's real cool.
Yep.
Tears
Triple
Deliverance, which is not on the same side of the tree as Protection of Tear. Okay. 100-yard range, 2-second cast, 1.5-minute cooldown, release of the light within yourself, healing an injured ally within 15 yards for 35% of spell power every 1 second. Allies healed also receive 20% increased healing from your holy light and flashlight spells for 10 seconds. This is improved by Tears Magnificence, Munificence, Munificence. Increase the range of Tears Deliverance by 2 yards, healing by 5%, and healing bonus by 5%. That's real cool. I like this ability. This is the artifact weapon ability, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I
That's
liked that one. Yeah, that was the last time I played Holy, was when you could use this guy.
Yep.
Alright, so here we have a choose one that you have to get a bunch of talents to get to. So let's see if it's any good. Oh, it's your Avenging Wrath, Might, or Avenging Crusader. Call upon the light to become an avatar of retribution, increasing your damage and healing by 20% for 20 seconds, combines with other Avenging Wrath abilities. Or Avenging Crusader replaces Avenging Wrath, 50% of base mana. Wow. Instant 2-minute cooldown. You become the ultimate Crusader of Light for 20 seconds. Crusader Strike and Judgment cooldown 30% faster, and heal up to 3 injured allies for 250% of damage they deal. Oh my god, I love this ability already. If Avenging Wrath is known, also increases Judgment Crusader auto attack damage by 30%. Juicy. Ooh. Hands down, I'm picking the Avenging Crusader every day of the week in every situation. that other ability is just so incredibly lackluster is the word I'm going to go with in comparison.
It takes half your mana bar, but yeah.
It does take half your mana bar, but like it makes your auto
Well,
attacks do
it's
30% more
it's
damage.
half your base. It's half your base mana. Doesn't even say your max mana, so who knows? But yeah,
Yeah, like it is an expensive skill, but
I mean, they probably saying like say on your like the holy light max and base mana. They're probably saying the base mana based on your character stat, and then before the stats of a gear.
yeah.
So max mana is probably after the stats of gear. So
But
I bet it's
Crusader
more like
Strike only costs 11% of mana, and we have judgments back. So where's the judgment of
I think all the judgments are mostly in the talents, but let's see. And those should be on the core, or some of them should be in the talent list.
yeah, let's
There's
see if
regular
we can
judgment.
find it.
There's Judgment Light, Seal the Templar,
Seals, that's what I'm looking for. Do they have access to the seal?
Seal of Clarity,
Nah. The seal that gives them mana back.
Seal of the Crusader, Seal of Might,
You're getting close. Seal of Wisdom, I think.
of Dusk and Dawn. That's the damage reduction one. What's this? Holy Power Spenders, but that's not mana.
Maybe this is why they didn't get Seal of Might. Let's look at the modifiers before we finish our judgment here on the talent.
Yeah.
So we've got Leandrin's Fury Unleashed. While Avenging Wrath is active, you gain 1 holy power every 4 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
What's that go up to?
Let me click the talent quick. I forgot to click it. And it goes up. It should. I think it should go up to 8 or go up to 2, but I think it doesn't click up, so I can't tell right now.
It either goes up to 2 holy power or it goes up to 8 seconds.
Or not, or it goes up to every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Gain 1 every 2 seconds, probably.
Yeah, not anyway, or Awakening.
Then awake.
Word of Glory and Light of Dawn have a 15% chance to grant you Avenging Wrath for 10 seconds.
Now I assume
Now,
that should be 3.
does that mean it has a chance to grant you Avenging Crusader for 10 seconds? Because
Yes,
that'd
that
be
is a
dope.
talent already. That one is already a talent in Shadowlands, and that does work with what I have right now, Awakening. So I have it right now. I'm looking at it, and I can
So
proc.
I'm impressed with this talent right here.
Proc up Holy Light quick. Yep. So it does proc randomly. So
They're gonna have to fix this choose talent
Mhm.
because Avenging Crusader is just so good.
I mean, I have it right now. The issue with it at the moment is where's Crusader Strike. Right now, both Crusader Strike and whatever, all we have is that doing physical damage. But where's the what does it say it does on healing parts? Crusader Strike and Judgment heal 250%. Okay, so that's that.
Which is
But it's only
almost
for
as much as a Holy Light.
yeah.
Like an instant
Just
cast
looking.
Holy Light that does damage.
Need to find a build that reduces cooldown because the cooldown on those two are still pretty big though too.
Well, like, so you get Crusader Strike has 2 charges, and then you get Crusader Strike reduces the cooldown of Holy Shock by 1 second. I'm not sure if we get any more reductions to Crusader Strike's cooldown.
I mean, if anything, it should still be modified by haste, but
But
yeah.
this is something that probably needs some tuning,
Yeah.
but I really like the direction it's going in. I do feel like this would make this build incredibly cooldown dependent. I feel like they need something, maybe a small, like, do they have Judgment of Light?
Yeah,
Or
uh they have that small thing. Judgment causes your next 25 successful attacks to heal a target for 7% of spell power.
okay, with that, like, you could do this build real cool. Like, you totally do a DPS Holy Pally build.
I mean, yeah, with Avenging Crusader, most your entire build would be based around haste, anyways. But yeah,
Yeah.
and if it's still
Man, this
modified
is
by
gonna
haste,
give me
yeah.
a fun as fuck off spec to play.
And if the if the Avenging Wrath talents work with Avenging Crusader, you're going to have modified talents anyways with it. You're going to have
So
Avenging Crusader with Might on it.
so looking at this right now makes me absolutely giddy for the monk tree. Like, I'm so excited to look at that. Well, so that's the Holy Pally. Like, comment, do all that shit. We will catch you probably tomorrow, with any luck, with the rest of the druid. And then we will get on that warlock and the monk. We really should do the DK too. Um, that invoker we're waiting for last, because, like, I don't want to read the talents and be like, what do all these abilities do?
Yep.
Hoping to get in the beta before then.
New burst.
All right, so that's Daftjack signing off.
See ya.
Y'all have a good night.